AstroVastu Blueprint for Leo Rising Solar Authority, Fire Earth Command, Visibility Aligned Living Spaces. 1. First house, Lagna Zone, Solar Centrality. Leo Rising is ruled by the Sun. This makes the home an extension of authority, dignity, and self-recognition. Leo does not struggle due to lack of confidence. Leo struggles when visibility, authorship, and centrality are diluted. When the overall house does not reflect leadership, motivation fades, a subtle sense of being ignored develops, ego fatigue replaces confidence, heart, spine, and vitality feels strained. The Lagna zone must feel central, composed, and unmistakably anchored. If the house feels fragmented or leaderless, the sun loses its throne. 2. Second house, main entrance, declaration of presence. For Leo rising, the entrance is a statement of legitimacy. The east is not symbolic here. It is existential. Daily solar reinforcement sustains authority, clarity, and confidence. When the entrance is weak, dark, or compromised, Leo feels unseen despite effort. Recognition drops. Irritation rises when authority is questioned. A dignified, well-lit entrance restores the feeling, I belong at the center. 3. Third house, living room, court of authority. This space governs how Leo is perceived and received. Leo must not compete for space inside the home. The living room should subtly establish a clear focal point and hierarchy. When aligned, you are naturally acknowledged. Hosting feels effortless. Presence is felt without assertion. When misaligned, social interactions feel draining. Respect must be demanded instead of received. Irritation arises without obvious cause. This zone teaches Leo how to radiate without overpowering. 4. Fourth house, inner solar stability. This zone governs inner confidence when no one is watching. Leo's ego does not need flattery here. It needs grounded reassurance. Overstimulating or chaotic interiors destabilize inner authority. If disturbed, restlessness at home, emotional irritability, difficulty feeling satisfied. When stabilized, this zone allows Leo to feel internally sovereign, not performative. 5. Fifth house, creative authority and joy. This zone governs self-expression, creativity, and joy. Leo's joy comes from expression that is seen and respected, not chaotic. When creativity lacks structure, confidence erodes. When balanced, creative output strengthens identity, joy feels dignified. Leadership feels playful, not heavy. When blocked, creative frustration, ego sensitivity, loss of enthusiasm. 6. Sixth house, kitchen and solar vitality. For Leo rising, the kitchen fuels heart strength, willpower, sustained confidence. Fire here must be clean, bright, and respected. When aligned, energy stabilizes, health improves, confidence feels embodied. When misplaced, ego fatigue, inflammation, loss of drive. This zone determines whether Leo's fire is regal or exhausted. 7. Seventh house, master bedroom, authority at rest. This is the most important zone for Leo rising. Authority must rest without collapsing. If the bedroom lacks grounding, Leo never truly switches off. When disturbed, sleep issues, chronic irritation, feeling unappreciated, even in close relationships. When aligned, ego softens without weakening. Rest becomes restorative. Confidence renews naturally. This is where the sun sets without losing its light. 8. Eighth house, storage, secrets, and ego residue. This zone governs hidden power dynamics and unexpressed authority. Clutter here represents unacknowledged effort or suppressed pride. When balanced, emotional weight reduces, power struggles dissolve, inner confidence stabilizes. When neglected, resentment builds, recognition hunger intensifies, emotional heaviness. 9. Ninth house, ethics, vision, and higher authority. This zone governs how Leo understands leadership and purpose. Without coherence here, authority turns rigid or defensive. When aligned, leadership feels ethical. Confidence gains moral weight. Respect comes naturally. When blocked, ego conflicts, feeling misunderstood, authority questioned repeatedly. 10. 10th house, home office and command center. This zone governs decision-making and visible leadership. Leo thrives when the environment reinforces command without aggression. When aligned, decisions feel natural, authority is unquestioned, career pressure reduces. When misaligned, overcompensation, exhaustion despite success, feeling responsible for everything. 11. 11th house, recognition and collective role. This zone governs how Leo receives validation from society. Leo needs acknowledgement, not flattery. Erratic or disrespectful social circulation destabilizes the sun. When balanced, recognition flows steadily, networks support leadership, influence feels earned. When blocked, feeling sidelined, social irritation, withdrawal, or dominance struggles. 12th house, ego purification and renewal. This zone teaches Leo, your worth exists even when no one is watching. It governs deep rest, letting go of performance, inner renewal. When aligned, confidence resets, burnout dissolves, authority becomes luminous. When disturbed, ego depletion, insomnia, identity fatigue. Core AstroVastu principle for Leo rising. AstroVastu for Leo is about restoring rightful centrality. When your home honors the east, anchors power in the southwest, centers authority without aggression, keeps fire dignified, not chaotic. The sun expresses as natural leadership, respect without demand, strong heart and spine, calm, luminous confidence. A Leo home must feel like the sun rises inside it. Every single day, AstroVastu Blueprint for Leo rising. Solar authority, fire earth command, visibility aligned living spaces. 1. First house, solar centrality. For you as a Leo rising, the house is not merely shelter. It is a seat of authority. The sun rules dignity, authorship, and centrality. You do not struggle because you lack confidence. You struggle when your environment fails to recognize your position. When the home feels fragmented, directionless, or visually diluted, motivation fades quietly. A subtle sense of being ignored develops. Ego fatigue replaces confidence and the body begins to reflect it. Strain in the heart, spine, or vitality. I always emphasize this. Your Lagna zone must feel unmistakably central. Not loud, not dramatic, anchored. The layout should naturally draw the eye inward toward a focal point. Colors here should be warm, noble, and composed. Creams, warm golds, sunlit neutrals. Never dull, never chaotic. Furniture must feel intentional and placed with hierarchy. If the house feels leaderless, the sun has no throne. When it feels centered, your authority returns without effort. 2. Second house, main entrance, declaration of presence. For Leo rising, the entrance is not symbolic. It is existential. The east is critical here. Daily solar reinforcement sustains clarity, legitimacy, and confidence. When the entrance is weak, dim, or compromised, you may find yourself working harder for recognition, feeling unseen despite effort, or reacting sharply when authority is questioned. I suggest an entrance that feels dignified and well lit, not flashy, but assured. The door should feel solid and welcoming, as though it announces presence without apology. Lighting must be clear and bright, especially in the morning. This threshold should quietly say, I belong here. When the entrance is right, irritation drops. Recognition flows back toward you naturally. 3. Third house, living room, court of authority. This space governs how you are received. You must never feel like you are competing for space inside your own home. The living room should establish a subtle hierarchy, one clear focal point, a natural orientation, a sense of order. Not dominance, but gravitas. When aligned, you are acknowledged without assertion. Hosting feels effortless. Presence is felt the moment you enter the room. When misaligned, social interactions become draining. Respect must be demanded instead of received, and irritation appears without obvious cause. This zone teaches you how to radiate authority, not project it. 4th house, inner solar stability. This is where your confidence either rests or collapses. Here, your ego does not need applause. It needs grounding. Overstimulating interiors, constant rearrangement, or chaotic visuals destabilize your inner authority. You may feel restless at home, emotionally irritable, or dissatisfied without knowing why. I advise stability here. Consistent lighting, warm but calm colors, and familiar arrangements. When this zone is steady, you feel internally sovereign even when no one is watching. You stop performing and start being. Hasher 5. 5th house, creative authority and joy. This is where your sun plays. Joy for you comes from expression that is seen and respected, not chaotic or attention-seeking. When creativity lacks structure, confidence erodes. You may feel creatively frustrated or overly sensitive to feedback. When balanced, creative output strengthens identity. Joy feels dignified. Leadership becomes playful rather than heavy. This space reminds you that expression does not need to shout to be powerful. Hammer 6, 6th house, kitchen and solar vitality. For Leo rising, the kitchen fuels the sun itself. This zone governs heart strength, willpower, and sustained confidence. Fire here must be clean, bright, and respected. When aligned, energy stabilizes, health improves, and confidence feels embodied rather than mental. When misplaced or neglected, ego fatigue sets in. Drive drops, inflammation or exhaustion appears. I always say, when the kitchen dims, the sun tires. This zone determines whether your fire feels regal or depleted. Number 7. 7th house, master bedroom, authority at rest. This is the most important zone for you. Authority must rest without collapsing. If the bedroom lacks grounding, you never truly switch off. Sleep becomes shallow, irritation lingers, you may feel unappreciated even in close relationships. I recommend grounding colors, solid furniture, and a sense of containment. This room should allow the ego to soften without weakening. When aligned, rest becomes restorative and confidence renews naturally. This is where the sun sets without losing its light. Het 8, 8th house, storage, secrets, and ego residue. This zone holds what you have not acknowledged. Clutter here often represents unexpressed effort, suppressed pride, or power dynamics left unresolved. When balanced, emotional weight reduces and inner confidence stabilizes. Power struggles dissolve quietly. When neglected, resentment builds, recognition hunger intensifies, emotional heaviness accumulates beneath the surface. Clearing this space is not about minimalism, it is about releasing unclaimed authority. 9th house, ethics, vision, and higher authority. This zone shapes how you understand leadership. Without coherence here, authority turns rigid or defensive. You may feel misunderstood or repeatedly challenged. When aligned, leadership feels ethical, confidence gains moral weight, and respect comes naturally. This space teaches you that authority is strongest when it is guided by vision, not ego alone. 10th house, home office and command center. This is your command seat. You thrive when the environment reinforces leadership without aggression. Decisions feel natural. Authority is unquestioned. Career pressure reduces because command flows instead of being forced. When misaligned, overcompensation appears. Exhaustion sets in despite success. You may feel responsible for everything, carrying more than you should. This zone must support command, not demand it. Hat 11. 11th house, recognition and collective role. This zone governs how validation reaches you. You do not need flattery, you need acknowledgement. Erratic or disrespectful social dynamics destabilize the sun. When balanced, recognition flows steadily, networks support leadership, and influence feels earned. When blocked, you may feel sidelined, socially irritated, or pulled between withdrawal and dominant struggles. This space reminds you that true recognition is consistent, not loud. 12th house, ego purification and renewal. This zone teaches you your deepest lesson. Your worth exists even when no one is watching. It governs deep rest, letting go of performance, and inner renewal. When aligned, confidence resets, burnout dissolves, and authority becomes luminous rather than strained. When disturbed, ego depletion sets in. Insomnia appears. Identity feels tired. Here, surrender is not loss, it is renewal. AstroVastu for Leo rising is about restoring rightful centrality. When your home honors the east, anchors power in the southwest, centers authority without aggression, and keeps fire dignified rather than chaotic, the sun expresses as natural leadership, respect without demand, a strong heart and spine, and calm, luminous confidence. A Leo home must feel like the sun rises inside it every single day.